And this is not to judge anyone or to put anyone down. However, this is me speaking from my perspective of my personal experience throughout almost 16 years of living inside this small town. However, I believe that there are good of people that still exist within a pack of wolves. And as much as I don't want to, as much as I would hate to, I force myself but to fight against the afflictions of my own negative consciousness and of my own negative, of my own disappointments of others. And I believe it is one of those things to where I must continue in this fight to walk throughout the journey of this life, holding a positive perspective and perception of others, of other human beings. And I need to continue to walk down this path of holding my faith as stable and strong as possible, and my faith within human beings, regardless of all of the obstacles of disappointments and discouragements. And I need to constantly build myself up from the ground up and develop my character as a human being in order for me to continue to manifest within that positivity, within the light, and to consume within it and inside of it. I often am responsible for allowing myself to lose my faith with others, lose my faith with other human beings. And at times I get to this point where I lose faith with others, where I don't trust others, I don't believe in anyone else. And it feels almost as if my friendship is nothing more than obsolete or null and void and completely meaningless to the perspective of others in their eyes. And it seems as if, regardless of how much you put forth an honest attempt into yourself of building your character and constantly attempting to manifest yourself inside a light and to better yourself, to become something greater in each day of your life, you are confronted with those who lip service you, give you nothing but hypocritical deceits and lies, and it does not seem as if, it seems as if, regardless of how good of a good-natured human being or person of an individual that you are as a human being, it appears that nothing is ever good enough for anyone else. And it appears that regardless, even if you are a good person and you show your gratitude and kindness and project it outwards into the world and upon others, and every honest attempt that I always put forth in an effort to befriend others, it seems almost as if others never want to meet you halfway in your mutual friendship, in your bond, in your relationship. And I'm not quite sure what it is about myself, what it is of myself for who I am, or as a human being, for for others to betray you of your trust, for others to have no sense of value for who you are as a human being. And it's almost as if who you are as a good-natured human being, as kind of a heart as you have, as much as you project outwards into the hands of the world for a positive influence, or at least in this my perspective, to inspire others, at the end of time, those demons would actually show you and to reveal to you as you discover their true colors for who they truly are. And for no incentive, for no apparent reason, they tend to betray you of your trust. During the time of your friendship that you had developed with them, as all they ever do to you is provide you a mouthful of lip service, a mouthful of deceits and lies, and as they betray you of your trust, and for no apparent reason. And this is something that truly disgusts me as a human being. It makes me often ashamed to even being a human being. As well as we all, as human beings, need to coexist inside of this universe peacefully amongst one another. And that goes without saying, or without question. Maybe for those of you, the some of you, maybe the handful of you, who do not share the same perspective as I do, which is completely fine with me. It might rather be disappointing. However, we need to coexist inside of this world as human beings. We need to peacefully bond together, to join hands, put aside our differences, and share our similarities. And for us to take it upon ourselves, in the investment within ourselves as human beings, to project outwards into the world a positive reflection of who we are. In order to do that, we must take the initial step inside of this journey into the light. Throughout the degrees and progression of this life, for who we are, we need to embrace the light within ourselves first before we are able to project it outwards into the world. Now, I am only a human being. However, I have my own set of imperfections, as I am someone who is not perfect myself. However, I put forth in every honest-to-God attempt, by the blessing of my Creator, Yahshua, by God, I am an honest person, someone who is full of virtues and morals and principles, as I have a good, kind heart. And for those of you that truly accept me for the human being that I am, I truly appreciate you, and thank you for your friendships. As valued as it is, I would assume that even despite for those of the handful who reject my friendship, as I attempt to welcome them with open arms, as they reject my kindness, as they reject my friendship. And my friendship, according to their perspective and their eyes, is nothing more than obsolete, or meaningless, or irrelevant, or insignificant, or diminutive, or minute. However, I promise to myself as a solemn oath of promise that until the day of my death, I will continue to be the human being that I am, the individual that I am. And whether if any one of you or anyone else accepts me for who I am or not, I could actually care less. I could care less. Because I'm proud to be a radiant human being, full of light, full of wonders, full of spectacular gifts and talents. And my personality is so vibrant as I continue to lift myself up from the ground up and develop myself from the degrees of ground zero into developing myself into the greater aspect of a human being that I am. And no amount of oceans of darkness or its obstacles could ever discourage me or disappoint me to lose my faith, to lose my stable ground of my faith with my perception of the world around me, or at least in this perspective of other human beings. And I believe that for someone to personally not like me or accept me with open arms, and if they have little to no knowledge to knowing who I am as a human being, or at least, and if they have absolute no idea who I am as a human being, and if they judge me, and if they reject me, and if they reject my friendship, of all things, can you just imagine just how narrow-minded that truly is? Just how fragment of pieces of how imperfect that state of mind or logic truly is. That's psychology. So I reckon that those particular individuals, and they just might know exactly who they are through watching this video, and it's completely your loss if you cannot accept me for the human being, for the individual, for the good character and good person of who I am. Then I reserve the right in my convictions and my beliefs that I don't need your friendships. I don't need you as a part of my existence, as a part of my life. Because personally, I myself, I'm so much greater than the demons like that. Or for those demons that are just like those people. They don't deserve my friendship. It's simple as that. They just don't deserve it. And that's not to say without arrogance or self-pride, or even a sense of overconfidence. And, I believe as human beings we need to peacefully coexist among one another inside of this universe, inside of this world and beyond it. We need to put aside our differences, put aside our similarities as well. Well, separate and divide our differences, put it aside in order for us to join hands and become embraced through our friendships, embrace each other's similarities, and accept each other. Most importantly, accept one another for who they are. Otherwise, we would have lost this war against the darkness. And this fight, throughout the evolution of time, ever since the world had first developed, would have been for nothing. It would have all been for vain. And this is the 21st century. We need to shape ourselves into the construction of becoming ourselves greater every single day. And every moment, every waking moment of your lives, you truly have to be blessed to feel alive, to be alive, to breathe the air as perfect as the air is, and of the surrounding nature and of all the things of this world. It's truly magnificent. And I feel so disgusted, I feel so ashamed of, sorry for others who know very little or to no knowledge of how wonderful this life truly is. Of how much being alive is such a gift. And it's such a gift that it's incredible. It's something surreal to us. And throughout the years of my life, I had lost numerous friendships. And surprisingly enough, in my earlier life, I was someone of a loner, someone antisocial. I had completely reversed myself into the character, into the human being that I am today, through an evolution of time, through gradual practice, and becoming who I am today was responsible from myself and of a positive influence that had surrounded me after a while, and had come much later into my life. I had not seen the light until later into my life. Friendship is something to feel blessed for, something that you truly feel empowered, and it is such a surreal feeling that makes you even feel more alive than ever, than anything else. And so who are we as human beings? We are meaningless if we have nothing or no one else to share a mutual relationship with, or a common bond of friendship with. Without it, we truly are null and void. We are obsolete. We have no meaning of existence. We have no trace of a purpose of life, a purpose to exist. And even despite of all the afflictions that are constantly thrown against me, much like the waves of the oceans or its tidal waves, of my often disappointments with other human beings, honest to God, I attempt to not be as discouraged, because I realize that is the wrong and unjustified state of mind for someone like myself, or someone who is supposed to be a human being, to have inside of their consciousness, inside of their minds, inside of their hearts. And I cannot surrender my faith with humanity. I cannot surrender my faith ever, with other human beings, or with nature, or anything else of this world. And it simply ain't gonna happen. Ever. Thank you for taking this opportunity to watch my video. Please click the subscribe button, which can be found on the screen here. And I certainly hope that you had enjoyed watching this video. I hope that it had inspired you, and please share my videos with others. And I hope that what I had said helped you ultimately shape your perspective for the positive, and to resonate my words from time to time inside of the spectrum of your thoughts, into your consciousness, to develop yourselves in your everyday life, to incorporate that into your everyday life. And so that's the most important. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.